Hey, and we live, we live, we live, we live. And we live, we live. Hey, and we live, we live, we live, we live. But we out here today. Now we are in Queens, just like we was a while ago. We out here today. This is my guy right here. Like I always say, I don't really like to introduce people only because I feel like it's your name, not mine. And when my name, if somebody tell me, I'm gonna be excited and be like, "Yo, my name is such and such." So I want you to introduce yourself and tell everybody who you are.
My name is Kerry Louis. I'm one half of FCF. Go by the rap name K-Star.
Okay, so this is K-Star, and we did an interview with Ryan, or we call it 360. You understand? And we was in the barbershop. We was over there at Filthy Rich, and it was definitely a good interview. So this is his partner right here, his partner in crime and everything. So we're gonna get to know him, and then down the line we're gonna definitely have another interview with both of them, and we're gonna definitely even be much better in the studio or somewhere. We're gonna find.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely get us together at the same time and rock out that way. But I guess about myself, I guess we could start off with how I started rhyming, right? I guess, right?
Well, you could actually, let's start about where you at right now. What are you doing right now in life?
All right, so rapping is definitely one of those things. I also currently have a full-time job as well.
Okay.
See the hoodie, it says no 9 to 5. It's kind of ironic, right? But I do have a 9 to 5 as well as that.
Yeah.
And just doing a lot of other things, So.
Okay, so like doing your 9 to 5 and also trying to be an artist, because I don't like to say rap, because rapping is for people like me that just act like silly. Artists is a different thing, right? So I gotta respect it. And doing your 9 to 5, how is that for you? Is that very difficult?
Yeah, every 9 to 5 is hard. Everything you do is always difficult. It's hard to do that, and then after that, jump right into keep your creativity. But that's something that you have to fight and just stay focused on.
Okay, so you doing you got a lot of different masks,
Yeah,
a lot of different personalities.
Most definitely, you got to wear a lot of different hats.
There we go.
With everything, and that's just what you got to do. It's New York City, so you gotta have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8
hustles.
different hustles. Yeah.
No, that's definitely true. So you said you're an artist, and then you're also working your 9 to 5. Now I like to talk about a little education before we start getting into like a normal conversation we would have, and a little bit something about what me and him was talking about earlier. I definitely want to get into talking about being pulled over. You know what I'm saying? But not right now. We're gonna get back to it. I won't forget.
I was just pulled over.
Yeah, we're gonna definitely talk about it. But first, let's talk about, and I always go backwards to, I start from the present and go backwards and be coming back up to it. So let's go back to middle school. And the reason why I always go to middle school is because elementary, the other ages are, young, and you're learning who you are as a human. Like you're learning to talk, you're learning what math is and all that. But when you get into middle school, you have a lot of kids that are just all over trying to find themselves. So I feel like that's like your beginning as a person to knowing who you are, what you're trying to do, or even trying to figure it out.
Okay.
So from middle school for you, what middle school did you go to, and how was that experience?
Middle school for me was weird. I would have to say weird. I went to PS13 where I met a lot of my friends. I always, when I watch the video, you say, well, left right dudes always, they keep their friends, right?
Yes,
and
that's
I think that's cool. Like, I love all of my friends from maybe like 2nd, 3rd grade.
Yeah.
So, long story short, end up in 119, which is in Glendale.
Okay.
Right? And that is totally not like PS13, right? So it's a little bit of a different culture. I felt culture shock, which I felt like it's just weird because it's just a different element.
Let's stop right there, right? I always like to stop in between, and like when people say like certain words, I like to break them down or try to understand them. Because for me, like people tell me I'm weird, right? And I like that. I like to be weird because to me it's different. It's because I'm myself. I'm original. I'm whatever you want to say. But for you, how are you using the word weird in the sense of that school? What was so weird about it?
What was weird about it I guess it was both of us being different. I was being in a different neighborhood, and the neighborhood was accepting somebody who wasn't a part of that neighborhood.
So what kind of neighborhood was it?
I guess Glendale was like, I don't know, I guess it's a lot of Italians, a lot of Polish, it's just different ethnicities, so that just made it a little bit different. So now you're around those kids and they look at you like, oh, you represent
the black people.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So it's just
that's
a weird.
cool. Yeah,
it's a weird situation where it's like, oh, all right.
And
okay.
Italian people, you know, those are like the white black people. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. You know, and they're very cool. You know what I mean?
Cool.
And they're not the only white people that are cool or whatever. You know, the people are cool in general. You can't really categorize people because it's tough. Because you got a lot of people that go either way. You got Oreos, or you got, you know, people that are white that act black that are white, whatever, like whatever you want to call it. But it's all about different people and getting to know them. So with going through that weird experience, right? How did it help you get it going towards like high school?
That was super cool. At the time, I hated it when I first got there. I just hated it.
Okay.
I hated everything about it. But then I didn't even realize it. I realized it years later how beneficial it was, because it forced me to just be outside of my element. And anything in life, that's how you grow. Right?
Okay.
You can't really grow if you're in the same exact spot. So you have to move. You have to feel different.
See more.
You just have to be uncomfortable, so that way you can grow. If you just stay in the same exact place, you're never gonna grow.
Okay.
So that was a good experience. Also, just learning how to be the different person, learning how it's just a different perspective. And in life, as many perspectives as you can learn to have, it'll always help you. So
more because then you can understand people and kind of get around and work. And then let's go a little forward up until now, because I know we're still gonna come back to high school. But being able to be diverse, like as you're saying, right? That helps with the job that you're doing, the 9 to 5. So your 9 to 5 is
assistant manager at a bank.
Okay, it's assistant manager of a bank. So being that because when you're a manager in general, that word manage is very difficult to deal with sometimes, because you're managing a bunch of different personalities at the bank that you work at, right? And that's tough.
Right.
It's definitely tough, because being that as a manager, you may have you got some people, not even a manager, as a person, you have your own common sense, because everybody doesn't have common sense, or everybody doesn't have the same common sense. So I know that's tough for you sometimes. So can you give me like a quick situation with something that happened at your job with a customer that was like weird for you?
Weird. All right. Well, I got a turnaround story, which is kind of, so it was this old man, right? This feisty guy comes in, old guy, and he just wants to fight with everybody. He's just angry and just wants to fight with everybody. And I go over there, and for whatever reason, I'm cool with him. I'm laughing, I'm joking. I'm not taking any of his aggressiveness too serious. I'm just like, all right, come on. So I help him out, and then through the conversation, he starts to turn around and change. He doesn't seem so weird anymore. And then as you start talking to him, like, oh, he's not really weird at all. And then when you hear his story, it's like, oh, he's got some other things going on as to why he's so angry in the first place.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people are like that. Like you said,
exactly.
You know, it's the thing that you got to think about. It's like a mirror in a sense, right? It's like, okay, you look in that mirror, you might see something, but then you also have something different inside of you. You know what I mean? That's just how people are. They might be walking around looking one way, and a person comes off another way, so now they're expecting that from everybody, so now they're going to react a certain way, so they don't have to get that feeling of being uncomfortable, right?
There's a lot of defense mechanisms.
Yes, a lot of defensive mechanisms, whatever, I can't say it, you know what it is. Let's go back to high school. So how was high school, and what high school did you go to?
I went to John Brown.
John Brown.
Brown was cool.
Okay.
Was cool. Well, actually, no. See, I went to McClancy for like 2 months. 2 months. We got to backtrack. I can't leave them out.
Oh, what happened?
I was there for like 2 months. I was too public school at that time. It just wasn't gonna work. I got there and I was like, oh man. My older brothers had went there. I had dreams of playing ball and everything. And when I got there, it was just too strict. I just remember and it was an all boys school, and it was just like, oh, this is too strict. And I remember this first week, September, at least that time, it was super hot. AC's broke. You got the full collar, tie, all of that, right? So the dean comes in, and he's like, all right, because the AC's broke, I'm gonna go easy on y'all, right? So I'm sitting here like, all right, what's about to happen, right? I'm thinking with my public school mind, like, all right, we can take our shirts off and just, right? He like, you guys can unbutton your top button. And they were like, yeah. I was like, I gotta go. This is not for me. Like, it's
just
crazy.
the top
it was like 98
nah.
degrees in the building. Like,
nah, that's not it. That's definitely not it. So, how was the experience of John Brown, though?
Oh, Brown was cool. Brown was cool. It was just like, that was just like everybody that
you knew.
Yeah, it was everybody. Yeah,
okay. But what about the grades wise, like for you?
Grades, which was weird. I had my up and downs. I was one of those kids that I could pass pretty easy.
Yeah.
So that wasn't so good. So I would get good grades when I wanted to, and then just hang out and then not get good grades. So that I would always pass by. I was one of those.
So you was just
85s,
like basically.
I would just ride the coast like, oh yeah, I'm cool. I passed this.
Nah, I feel you. So it was like more so like you was doing your work when you can, but you really was like trying to, in the same, like figure yourself or chilling with your friends.
I guess, yeah.
Doing just enjoying.
Just
trying
enjoying,
to enjoy the experience of high school. Yeah, well, see, that's good, and I always tell people to always enjoy your experience at whatever age you are, but also manage it. Like manage your time where it's like, okay, I'm gonna joke around, or I might chill with them, or I might, I'm not telling you this, I might cut, but then you still have to get back to your work though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you got an 85 and up average, that's where you should be in high school. And I don't want to say nothing lower because then people are gonna go lower. So I'm gonna say 85 and up, just so you know that you're comfortable where it's like, okay, I'm doing good, but I'm still chilling with my
hard.
friends.
If you think about it, school is not hard.
It's not.
They just tell you what to do. You just got to do it.
Yeah.
It's really not that difficult. I was one of the, at least I graduated on time, and it was one of those situations where a lot of people didn't. A lot of people just stopped or didn't make it. And that was something that was important. My household, you was gonna graduate, so
you have to though.
You had to do that. So
because without that knowledge, you probably wouldn't even be where you at right now, in all kind of aspects of like being able to be there. Because we had a conversation about his younger nephew, and he's doing like really good.
Football player.
Yeah, he's doing really good in football, and just to be there, like how he is. Supporting him, it can be a lot for somebody.
Yeah, I apologize, rain check. I am late. That is why I'm late.
We don't even
I had
worry
to
about
watch
that.
my little nephew football game. Yeah, they won. So I had to go do that. But and the name of the crew is FCF, fam come first. Yeah. And that's 100%. Family is everything.
That's the truth. And I like I said before, you don't have to worry about being late. You know why I respect it? Because at the same time, at least he called me earlier today to tell me that. Some people just cancel, or some people, and it's not sending no shots, nothing. It's just being honest. Like if you don't want to do it, just let me know. I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm here to just help. And on to like talking more so about college. So what about college for you?
College, what did I do with college?
I
went to LaGuardia first, got my associates.
Okay.
And then I went to York, and I stopped at like 120 credits with it.
You need 140,
I got exactly, bro. So
yeah, so it's cool
I need
though.
to go back and finish that, right?
Yeah.
Not too late.
It's never too late. You definitely can. At least you hear it here. But let's talk more so about boy Tony Koskinen. He put the FCS.
What's good, Tone?
Yeah. So let's talk more about it. Yeah. Like your music, your family come first, and everything. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, a lot of that comes from, as you say, a lot of people that you just know from when you're just young, your childhood friends, and you grow up. And music and poetry is something that I've always done. At first, it was poetry before it was a rhyme or anything. It was just putting words together, and that's just how it just continued to progress. So
for you, like, and I always say this, and I know like a lot of my stuff that I say is kind of repeated. It's only repeated because I feel like it's good things. Like, as working as an artist, was it like an everyday thing for you, or was it like, when you got in that mental space, you was like, I need to sit down and kind of write something and just...
I'm weird, man. I don't know if it's going with Pisces. I'm real weird with how I create and stuff.
Okay. Sometimes
I can go through like long periods of times where I can't, and then sometimes it's where it's like a flood where I just
have all this.
Yeah, but I try to just be consistent with it, where it's like, okay, try to force yourself to at least do something, because that's the work ethic. But naturally, it's one of those things where, I don't know, sometimes you just get more creative or just more inspired and just things come out.
Well, that could happen. I think that happens because sometimes, when you go through your everyday 9 to 5, you don't really have nothing that's inspiring you. Right. And then when you really get out there and something happen, or you might get emotional about something, then that's when you're just like, yo, I gotta write something, I gotta put something down. I got a lot coming out right now.
And you just have to, I think I heard you say it, or through somebody say it, but you gotta do something for yourself.
Yes.
So you work for the company or whatever it is that you're doing, but you gotta do something for yourself. And it's hard though sometimes, because
it is.
I'm not gonna lie to you, you're working, so you're getting work, and then you gotta come back after that, and sometimes you don't feel so creative, you don't feel so enthused, but that's where the love of the art or the music or whatever it is that you're doing.
Yeah, but these definitely, you know, and I'm not saying that people don't do this or you don't do this, but sometimes even when you don't have something, that's something to write about. You know what I mean? Like, and it's definitely, it's so many different ways and stuff. But tell me about one of your songs that you have now or you had that you really like. Just talk about it, you know, where it came from. So, because we definitely coming back and we're gonna listen to some of the music. So you can just talk about it right now.
Matter of fact, all right. So we could say the song that you guys were talking about, the "They Ain't Really About It."
Okay.
I think it was cool because the way it came about. First of all, I think everything happens for a reason, right? So,
yes.
And we talk about part of the reason why I'm doing this and why Rain is doing what he's doing. It's just supporting each other and everything. And like, as you say, music comes from like an experience or emotion.
Yeah.
And at that time, when the song was made, like there's so many artists, rappers, and left, right, and anywhere in the world. Like, and as you say, we don't always support each other.
No.
And you know, sometimes it's the other way. Sometimes people ask you about stuff. And it's like, is he trying to play me? Like, really?
Yeah,
you know, they continuously ask you about it, but they're not supporting you, right? So, like, let's say you're trying to be a barber, and I'm like, hey, Rain, you cutting hair?
Mm-hmm.
And then, can I cut your hair? Nah, I'm good. You keep asking me.
Yeah.
Right after a while, it's like, you know.
Like, what is it?
Yeah, you know, and it's the same thing. So that's why it's important to just support people that are doing things around you locally. And the song, They Ain't Really About It, was just, you know, some people not being about it, and you having to be about it yourself.
Keep talking
where
about
it's
it.
like,
I'm just gonna read it so we can keep going. Keep going.
Most definitely. So where you just got to be about it yourself. So where and that's why the song was cool. Me 60, and then really jumped on and he's about it. So it's just being about whatever it is that you do and giving it 100%, having that work ethic, and that's what the song, you know. And the song started from, you know, just us supporting each other.
Okay.
You know?
So we got some questions over here. Well, first we got Just. Just is definitely like he said you got the guns out. He said you got the guns out.
What's up, man?
He said you got the guns out, joking around, but he said fine. Then we also got a question from Sade about writer's block. Like, what is some advice that you give to some people?
Writer's block is real.
Yes.
I have it sometimes. I get it. I think sometimes one of the things is, as Rain said, is sometimes when you don't have something, you have something. So sometimes you're sitting there trying to think of this such a great idea. And that's the idea right there. Just write, just let it go. And sometimes you just got to be brave. I know that there's some things that I myself haven't written about because it's just you got to be in a mind state.
Yeah, that you don't care.
Yeah.
Or you do care, but it's
or sometimes you got to feel it because, you know, music's all about feeling. So for me to convey that through the music, for you to feel it, I got to feel it first.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're like, I don't know if I want to go that deep, but you got to if it's going to be authentic and genuine. So never be afraid to just go.
I'm not saying mine is right, but I'm gonna see if this is a good advice when it goes towards writing. Sometimes this is me. I say, you know, for me, I'm very. I'm not gonna say I'm very. But as a people, in general, we are emotional people, right? And our emotions normally play like for you. It's off of music, right? Not even just for you, for anybody. You know what I mean? Like if you watch some of the videos when I'm in the car, I got my music, I'm having fun. So I feel like sometimes when you don't have that inspiration, maybe you need that kind of music. Maybe you need to listen to all different type of music just to get that emotion out. Like, right? You're stuck. You might need to listen to some music that's just about love, or you might need to listen to some music that's just about. It might not sound good, but you know, like music nowadays when they just talk about money and this and that, because maybe you won't use that exactly, but you might use something else in reference to like why people like that, you know, and just I think music in general.
Yeah, I'm all for listening to all kinds of music.
Definitely.
And going outside of your comfort zone, especially when I'm creating. I don't want to hear stuff that sounds like what I'm making because then it kind of messes me up. So I like to just be all the way over here when.
Yeah, definitely. You get that inspiration. She has another question. So she said, what advice can you give to a person that wants to be an artist but has doubt?
Doubt is real.
Yeah.
It is something that everybody faces, and you just got to fight through it. Doubt can kill a lot of dreams, so you just got to push through it. And I don't think, well, I shouldn't say I don't think, but I think there's a lot of people in high places that we don't necessarily but they have doubt issues too. So don't doubt yourself for feeling doubt. Be strong enough and be brave enough to push through that, because sometimes you think like, oh well, this guy doesn't suffer. You don't know, but you just got to push through it. It's a feeling.
Doubt is definitely real, but you know the thing about doubt and what I say, and I was just thinking about earlier, just myself. a lot of people are scared to fail, right? But when you fail, you kind of succeed because now you know what not to do. And that's part of doubt, you know? So why don't you fail so then you can have something to work around, like, okay, if I did it this way, now I know not to do it this way, let me do it this way and try. And if you fail again, now you're learning what not to do. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you writing your raps wasn't like, yo, I'm just nice. No, you had to write some shit that was whack, or some shit that was just like, yo,
and
you gotta,
that's how you learn to get better, especially writer's block. To go back to that point, sometimes that is how you get writer's block, because you want to make it so good and so dope that you're like, nah, this sucks, I can't, nah, it's not, and that's what stops you. But you got to finish that out, because when you mess up, that teaches you, like, oh, this is where my rhyme went whack, right here.
Exactly.
I messed up right here, just like if you're doing a cut, like, oh, this is the fade right here where I messed it up. So you got to finish it out to know, like, oh, I messed up.
Yes.
Okay, this is how I fix it, and this is how I stay off of that.
That's what you can't do. You can't be scared to try to fix it. And when I say about, like, it doesn't matter who's the whatever the best rapper that you know, he even wrote some whack shit. You know what I mean? Everybody does, because they can't be great without doing something whack. You have to go from the lowest point to get to your highest point sometimes. You know what I mean? But let me see. Well, last thing I do want to talk about, let's talk about.
I do want to shout Just out though too.
Okay.
I see him saying what up, man. I do want to Gym Gang and everything that he does, man.
Yes, Gym Gang, definitely Gym Gang.
This is important, man. It's definitely important, man. So shout him out.
All right, so what I want to talk about, let's talk about, and I'm going to ask you some of these questions as we talk about you getting pulled over in your experience. So let's talk about that, and I'm going to just read this so I can definitely go.
So what happened, I guess I was trying to go to the game. I was late, and I didn't know where I was at, and I guess I was using a phone, and they thought I was texting, so I got pulled over trying to figure out where I was going.
See, the thing with that is, like I was telling him, I was in the same kind of situation where I was lost, and I was looking at my phone, and I'm trying to find it too, and they pulled me over. I think a lot of cops are just, when they pull us over, they're very overly aggressive.
Exactly.
Very aggressive. And it's like, it makes you aggressive sometimes as the driver. It's like, why are you acting so like I just killed somebody, or like I just did something, like, and it's not to say that you're supposed to break laws, but if you break a law and the cop is coming to enforce it, you don't have to be so aggressive. It should first be like a friendly thing, and then if the person that, as the cop, if the person is still going, then I can understand you being aggressive. But just to come straight off, like,
it's your first resort, and that's sometimes just a lot of their first resorts, and that's not popular. There are some good cops, right, and there are some bad ones, and the bad ones sometimes they're just overly aggressive. I've had cops come up to me with guns before anything, like just walk up to the car with guns out, like,
that's the crazy
part.
How
do you just do that? Like, so it's a lot of different things.
So, see, they want to know what's the first step to take as an upcoming artist?
As far as what? Like what?
It didn't really get too detailed on that one. You got to be a little bit more detailed. Well, we got Tony over here. He's asking, where were all this assistant management? Wait, what's that? Were you always an assistant manager?
No, man. I started off as a teller. Tone know this.
Oh, it said so. And it said no. And he's saying if you didn't, where did what did it say? Where did you do? Oh, what did you do to get there? Y'all got to write better than this,
all right.
man.
So I guess that's cool. Yeah, as a I started off as a teller. And pretty much what I learned, I got this work ethic from my parents, man. Always learn more than what you're supposed to learn. You don't got to be the smartest person. You don't have to be the most intelligent person. Just know more than what you're supposed to know. I could tell you some stuff where I honestly, right now, I feel like I've done a lot of hard work, and I feel like I've earned a lot of different things. But I can tell you that sometimes that I've gotten certain things for the most stupidest reasons. Right? So like you could work hard, like I really worked hard, and then get it for something stupid. And what I mean by stupid is just work ethic. Right? So learning more than what you're supposed to learn. I would be the person that I would show up early. So because now I'm early, now they'll take me in here and show me different things just because I'm early.
And that's about knowledge. Like you're saying.
Just learning more. So now
don't be scared to learn.
Just always learn more than what you're supposed to do, and that could be for being an artist with anything. If you're a rapper, say okay, well, and I need to take this advice. All right, you see the guy punching the boards, learn more. What are you punching over there? What's that? Learn more. So
it's definitely true. You gotta be like I've always said, when you're doing anything that you're doing in the sense of whatever you're doing, you need to know all aspects of that. A lot of people, I can take it to basketball for me. And when I say that, it's like, if I play basketball, I should know what the refs are looking for to call as a foul. While how to get around the pick, how to dribble, when to shoot, when not to shoot, when to pass. You know, it's just like in life. You want to know everything that surrounds that job.
You want to know the other player's position. So if you're a 2 guard, you want to know, okay, the 4 is supposed to be over here. You just want to know that. Even though you're never going to play the 4, you should just know that and understand the game. So and you may never know for one reason. It may be like, hey, you know what, Rain, go play the 4. Just because you have that knowledge.
And we can even, go over to rap, because that's what we're talking about as being an artist. You can't just be an artist, because how are you going to explain your music when you get inside these studios and you don't know anything about the engineering? You're like, well, I want my sound to be like something like you start making sounds.
And I'm bad like that. I'm one of those people.
So you got to work on that.
And
in general, you want to know everything. Like, nah, hit that button right there, move it up, because this is where I need it. Or, I need the snare down, I need this up. Like, bring me back in on this. Like, it's more about really understanding your craft, not just, I got this rhymes, I'm an artist. No, but what I mean.
You got to be able to articulate yourself to just anything. It's important to just always learn more, man. And the more you learn, you never know when that knowledge will kick in. So you're not gonna know 100%. Today I learned this, and this is what's gonna get me by. It's just gonna be a whole bunch of things that you add to your toolbox, and then one day you'll be able to apply the right.
Yes, that means to keep learning, like I always try to tell you guys, right? Is there anything else you want to kind of put out there? Oh, matter of fact, we didn't even do the social medias. Let's do that. Let's definitely tell them about your social medias.
K_star_FCF for everything. So
okay, so that's
simple.
Facebook,
everything.
Instagram,
everything.
Twitter,
everything. Yeah, everything. K_
check them out.
_FCF. Just everything.
And I also I want to tell you a little bit about myself, even though you're watching or whoever hasn't watched it. Definitely keep tuning in. Rain check the show. We out here. I'm trying to interview 1 million people. I know we up to like at least, and I just started a month ago. I appreciate that. I started a month ago. I'm up to like 50. I'm excited about this, but also checking my YouTube channel. We got the Rain Check. Please subscribe. We're gonna definitely put his video up. We put up every video. I always want to say that I appreciate people giving me that chance to talk, because I like I always say too. And this is real. This is not. I don't even say real no more. This is live. This is live. Let me tell you something. If you don't believe that you're somebody, then nobody else will believe that. You understand? So you could be like, well, he thinks I'm nobody, but I am somebody. All right, like even though they think I'm nobody, I'm somebody. You understand? That's for everybody. You know what I mean? Because you have to believe in yourself and believe in your dreams. So like I always say, get your own on your own. I mean, get yourself right, or you can't get nothing else right in your life, because you got to be happy to help everybody else.
And what is a somebody?
Yes.
What is that? Like
exactly.
Just people trying to do it. So why somebody else and not you?
Exactly. You live in life. You only got one. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. So I want to thank you again. You know what I mean? And this is not the last.
Yeah.
This is the first. We're gonna be back soon, within the next couple of weeks. Yes, the studio one. I'm leaving on the 3rd to go to Atlanta, but we definitely gonna keep doing this. Keep tuning in. Thanks again. And 360, stop playing, man. We're gonna do this.